Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz. Today is December 13th, 2019, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How's it going there, chat room?
Greetings, my excellent friend.
So good to see you. Jobbin PA is here. Tagger on. Frackberg, hello, hello. Yeah, we were running a little bit late this morning, a little bit behind, because there was a power outage here last night, and 2 o'clock in the morning, woke up and with the power going out, and all of my gear was reset here, so I had lights that didn't light up quite right here, and were configured wrong, and microphones weren't quite working the same way. Camera needed to be reset and all this, so got that all worked out and happening, and now we're back, we're live. How's it going there? I've got my Visual Studio hat on today because I like where we were going last time. I felt really engaged, and it really got my spirit moving when we were working on these components, Blazor components for web forms developers. And I want to continue down that path. I realized as I started working through some of the ideas, some of the concepts behind building a deployment package and writing up some documentation to go with that, and what the DevOps process looks like for that, it made more sense for me to want to do those online with you, and kind of share that experience and show what that looks like as we set up that deployment for the new package. You like the hat? This is a custom hat. I get a lot of the hats that you see me wear that have Microsoft logos on it, or not Microsoft. If they've got the Microsoft logo on it, it's made by Microsoft, but that have icons, or other badges that you've seen for various applications or websites. I get those custom made. The Blazor hat I had yesterday, and actually it's right here, right? That Blazor logo, they don't make that on anything. They don't print that on anything. They don't make stickers. I had that made into a hat myself. Same thing with the Visual Studio 2019 hat. I had this made myself. Hey there, Devman and Wanted. Good to see you. Musical Bookworm is here. Svava Blount. Great time zone. Yes. Yes, we got the time zone worked out. We made it in time. And with no monkeying around here, we're ready to go now. Teal Old Man, so good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Blazor Mr. Magoo is back. And VC, let me know how to pronounce your name there. VCXZZ3. Vizix. Something like that. I'm glad you're here. Code Stencil, greetings. Smab is definitely lurking. That's okay. You're welcome to do that, always. Lights still seem a little bit off. You know what? Yeah, this one's not quite the right temperature. Right, it should set, that should be, this is the left, it should be that's the wrong temperature too. Turn that down. Nope, that's, oh no, what have I done? Hang on. Set them right. Nope. Now I've done it. They're a lot warmer than they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be a little bit cooler. Let me open that up. Right, so yeah. I can see it right away here in the, check this. Look, now everything's all messed up behind me. Look at this. They're supposed to be down around here. And that's better. Look at that. I can show you what I'm doing here. This is the settings for the Elgato control center here. I have two key lights. I have one on the left, one on the right. And I use these, right? I set the temperature so I can set the temperature of the light so it's much more red. And I look like I'm programming on Mars. Or I can bring it down so it's a lot cooler. And there we go. Yep, that's good. And the brightness, of course, right, if I want to really blow it out. But I usually keep it somewhere down around here so that I don't blind myself. So there you go. That's a little bit of behind the scenes for how I set up and run the lights here. Teal Man, apologies. Presence was required at the hospital. My friend, I am so glad that you're doing well now. Please, never need to apologize. It's great to see you joining us. Thank you so much. And I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, and we've done some fun things here in the past few weeks about our channel points, and we've done some interesting things with those. All kinds of fun things you can turn them in for. And make sure Svava tells you about chipmunk mode, because that was totally a thing yesterday, and Ash Caravan loved it. I don't have a real color. How you know when I'm actually ill instead of just looking green? Ha ha! That's a thing. That's totally a thing. Let me get some music playing here in the background. Let me see. Where's my music? I have music. There's music. Trust me. We're going to play music. Excuse me. We're going to play some music to code by here. And today I think I'm going to play Gold. There we go. This is music that'll get you in the groove, get you in the flow, focused on whatever your task might be. mtcb.pwop.com. Written by our friend, Mr. Carl Franklin. Scientifically designed, engineered to get you in the groove. Thank you so much, Carl. We appreciate you letting us listen to your music while we write some code together here, live on stream. Yeah, I think that's about right. You'll require a full report. Well, you can just click that orange gear down at the bottom and see all the fun ways that you can enhance the stream. I think that's the word I want to use. Enhance. Chat room, help me out here. Does that, right? Channel points, they enhance the stream. Totally, that's totally a thing. Yeah. All right. I've got a little Faceberry G Fuel on here. Oh no. Yes. Or the clip from Ash yesterday. Yes, that was totally a thing. So we were working on converting, not converting's the wrong word, writing a ListView component for Blazor. And Blazor's our new modern web application user interface framework that emulates some of the controls, some of the features that were in the old ASP.NET Web Forms framework, right? The tools that came with the original Visual Studio. And in particular, we've been focused on this ListView component. And it has all kinds of features here, and there's a syntax that goes along with it, with all these templates that you could use to build out a list on your user interface. We went through and we finished implementing a number of these templates. An alternating item template if you want to have stripes in your collection. We did the empty item template, not the empty data template. I'm not quite sure how empty data template's going to work with this. We also finished the item template. We punted on the layout template and said, well, for Blazor, your layout template should actually be around the list view. And we got those working. And we got a number of the parameters, the attributes up here working as well. And that's great. That's a good initial pass at this. And we wanted to make that initial bit now available with maybe some documentation that goes with it coming out of the docs here. And a regular build that comes out of our master branch, along with appropriate version tagging and deployment to NuGet. The Comic Sansify and Notepad, yes, that was totally a thing, Len, and I love it when my chat room challenges me to step up and show my developer chops. No! Makes me feel so much better about what a developer I am. You think empty data is for when there are no items in the collection? Well, that's actually the empty item template. So, yeah, we can look at this. Hello, Sean. Good morning. You know what? Maybe we do need to look at the docs for those and figure out, because empty data and empty item do have two different purposes. So we'll take a look at the docs and make sure we get those lined up quite right. Make sure they're doing the appropriate thing they should be doing. But what I want to do first is I want to wire up Azure DevOps to this. I know folks say I should be using GitHub Actions, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle for me to do this. First off, because I don't think, ASP.NET Core is not in the list of actions here. I mean, it's not even recommending it, even though it's weird. And build and deploy to Google Cloud, like, well, this isn't a Node.js app, right? Dart, Elixir, ASP.NET Core isn't even on the first page. It's not even here. There it is. Build a dot. Okay. All right. But it's all editing YAML here, and I don't know the syntax for this. And right there's, I have to punt. There's no help here or anything that's going to help me do this, and I don't want to futz around with this the whole time. I just want to move on. I'm going to punt. So let me go over to Azure DevOps. I gotta make sure I do that correctly. I need to spend some time learning about it, but I need to be productive as well. No, sign in. And I'll sign in here. This one. There we go. All right. So I do have a fix I need to do for the deployment over here, and that's kind of weird. I'll get into that. This is Blazor Web Forms Components. A collection of Blazor components that replicate the original, that replicate the ASP.NET Web Forms controls that ship with the framework. There we go. Make this public. Yep. Advanced version control. Sure. Right. That. Whatever. Go. The password is 12345. Oh my goodness. Inconceivable. It's the same combination I have on my luggage. Right? That's totally a thing. Shoot. I'm lost in my sound effects here. I need to move more of these around.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
Oren Novotny is here. Can you help me with some DevOps? I'm just going to configure Azure DevOps real quick. And eventually I'm just going to set it up to build. Eventually we'll set it up to ship to NuGet. Where's my code?
Add some value.
Thank you so much.
Totally a thing.
Totally a thing. So, I've not added Blazor to my spell check dictionary yet. No, I haven't. I need to do that. I'm going to use the classic editor because YAML's a pain in the neck that, quite frankly, I don't know the dialect, and I don't want to have to go figure out where it is. Sure, authorize using OAuth. Yep, do that thing. Authentication code, do the thing. And there's quite frankly, too many YAML dialects for me to chase and keep up with. Without some kind of schema validation, verification type ahead. Otherwise it gets really confusing for me. Repository. I'm going to go find Fritz and Friends. It's not in either of those. And this is the one I want. You're not going to do this for me, are you? Are you? It's still loading. Have I seen the Inline Llamo editor on DevOps? Yes. Gives me UI widgets for configure. Oh, well. I'd rather the drag and drop because I can do this significantly faster. There it goes. There's that. Select. Default branch for manual and scheduled builds. Yeah, we'll build off master. Configuration. I don't want that. No. This isn't ASP.NET. Well, wait a sec. So inside of our project, let me open it up here in Visual Studio. I don't actually want it building any of our sample projects. I want it just building the library that has our components in it.
Bueller.
You gonna finish loading?
Bueller.
It's still loading.
Bueller.
No, we're not gonna get them populating. All right, let me open this up. I want this to build, not this one. I don't want anything in my samples. I want it building the Blazor Web Forms Components, which also, yeah, That's the only project I want it building. So, and this is a class library. So it's not ASP.NET Core. It's more of just a .NET Core, and .NET Core isn't in the list either. So maybe I'll just stick with ASP.NET Core up here. No. Yeah. See, so that feels a little, and I'm not testing, not running tests yet. We'll figure that out. I'm gonna get rid of that because it's really .NET Standard that I'm building. Sure, Azure Pipelines, Ubuntu, that's fine. I don't have anything there, okay. And I'm going to come to chat in just a minute here. Yeah, well, that's fine. So restore, yep, restore for those. Feeds I select here, just the regular feed. Azure Artifacts feed. Azure Artifacts feed, where'd that come from? No. Use packages from NuGet, yes. Good. All right, so build. I don't want to build that. No. Wait a sec. Yeah, I want to unlink that. Because what I want it to build... Let me open the folder. Let me see there. JAF 1021 is here.
Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf?
Hey, son or gonna.
We want it now! The meatloaf!
Copper Beardy's here.
I never know what she's doing.
Hey there. Good to see you, Mom. Am I using Cascadia code as my font? Yes, I am. High Tech K. I am. Devil Dog Tech Nerd. Good morning. In Seattle, just finished interviewing with Amazon. I don't know how I live there. I don't live there. That's just it, Devil Dog Tech Nerd. I don't live in Seattle, and I don't work for Amazon. I live in Philadelphia. It was Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground I spent most of my days. TBD Gamer, hello. So I want to build, where was it? Here. So I'm going to go down to source, Blazor Web Forms Components, and the CS project that's in there. So I'm going to specify, I'm going to force my will onto this. That's the one that I wanted to build. At some point I might have a test project on this. Right, and it would be good to have a test project that actually tries to render the components so that we can take a look at them and make sure that they render the appropriate HTML. That'd be a great test for this, but I'm not there yet. I don't have that. And I'm realizing that I don't have... Oh, look at this. See, when I tell you that we had that power outage last night, all kinds of stuff just is not working today, so we're still getting things up to speed. Living life into full stack. Yes, we are. Absolutely. There's a way to disable just this one. No, it's not there. Enabled. I'm going to turn off the test. Publish. Yeah, okay. But we're going to end up publishing out to NuGet. I think I want to do that as a separate job. But, alright. So, zip the published artifacts so that these are available. And eventually we'll publish it as a NuGet package, and we'll do that bundling in a separate release pipeline. So I feel like this is all that I need. I'm going to save and queue this up. First build, right? Yep, go. Do that thing. Now, the feature that I was working on isn't in the master branch. I haven't set up and done the merge yet of those initial display capabilities to merge them up, and I haven't set a tag yet, nor have I set up. I was using minver was the name of the package I was using to put the version number on the DLL that it creates. So I need to create a couple of those things yet, and we'll get it running. Well, that's a different user interface that I wasn't expecting. Okay. Wasn't expecting that at all. Packages failed to restore. Why? Error. Net SDK. Yeah. The current .NET SDK does not support targeting .NET Core 3.1. You're kidding. All right. So Azure DevOps does not have... That's not what I expected that to look like when I... Okay, the user interface changed over here, and this isn't what I expected this to look like. And when I click into pipelines... Alright. Thank you for the follow, Dr. Drill. Welcome. So... I thought we got away from having the need to install the SDK if you're using the current SDK. Right, I shouldn't have to specify that I'm using the currently supported SDK on this. Right? The .NET 3.1 SDK is available throughout Azure, but not DevOps. No. Oh dear God, no. Hang on. Inherit from pipeline demands. Specify which capabilities it must have. No. Go away. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to fill that out. Yeah, go away. So how... Okay, pool information. What's on this? That's really handy. And now I'm somewhere completely different. Alright. Let me go back down into this. I want to edit. Agent pool, Azure pipelines. And it's so clearly, even, right? Oh, there's an X way up here in the corner. So it's not telling me anything about that. It's not telling me here. But because my build broke, I know that it doesn't have .NET Core 3.1. Yeah, I shouldn't have to specify that, and there's no way for me to tell what version of the SDK is installed on the default pipeline here, or the default tasks. Right? Is it hiding over here somewhere? No. Right, is there some way for me to see what versions of things are deployed? That's status. Is it hiding under documentation? And this is actually a pretty interesting point here. How do I know... Right, oh great, I've chosen, I want to do a build pipeline, I'm getting sources, I'm requesting an agent. It's inherited from the pipeline, right? Which is using Azure pipelines. Well, what's installed on Azure pipelines? Because clearly, this doesn't tell me what's installed. Right? Details. No description. That's a really good question. What's installed on these? Right? the expectation that you're an expert on this stuff when they've changed the configuration and the user interface is very frustrating. Pac-Man Jr., I kind of agree. Building everything in containers, right? You end up taking control over everything, but you then lose all of the logging features and tracking and statistics that come out of the whole build pipeline. At that point, I'll build with Cake as well. Right? I want to automate and let somebody else manage this, but what is installed on Azure DevOps Agents? Right? What's installed on these things? Yes, I want to learn more about these. Otherwise, I'm going to build my own agent because clearly they don't keep up. And I'm using Ubuntu 16. I can go to 18. Not that it matters. But what's installed on them? Right? Ubuntu 18. Do they all not work? No. The links to Ubuntu 18.04 and Ubuntu 16.04 don't work.
Listen.
Hang on. Yes. Azure Pipeline's image generation. What's this? I don't want a Windows container. I want to run on a Linux container. But what's this? The following container images have been cached: Windows Server Core, Nano Server, .NET Framework, ASP.NET Core build on Nano Server. Okay, how do I get to this? But this is the Windows container. This isn't the one that I'm currently using. I want to use a Linux container. There's a connection here that is missing, right? Short of having a build break and kind of poking around and figuring out, well, what's actually installed on this? How do I get from... Great, I chose an agent. Well, what's on that agent? Why am I choosing this one instead of another one? And I've been blindly going into this, and I don't know what's installed on these. Search, it's on the page. Ubuntu. So here's, 3 days ago it was released. And it doesn't have the .NET Core 3.1 that was released 3 months ago. Why? And that's a pre-release. That's not even, right? If customers are supposed to be trusting and using these, why aren't other Microsoft teams? You can quote me on that. No. And it was actually answered. It was actually asked 3 days ago about it. Update, add. This was opened 8 days ago. Someone could share an ETA for it, availability. And it was actually closed. Should really be available on the day that version drops. Yes. You need to use the use.NET Core task with the version specifier. But if it's not even installed, whatever. The DevOps folks are making it clear that they're not going to, right? Isn't there? No, it's not that one. That they're not going to keep up here. And that makes me sad. The use.NET Core version. This, that one. See, and I'd really prefer it to use the global JSON so it picks that up. Let's do that. Let's go put down a global JSON so that that works. But there's a connectivity thing here that for supporting folks that aren't
S1mo_just resubscribed for 8 months. Well, hey.
Hey, thank you so much for the follow and the resub. I'm sorry, thanks so much for the resub. It didn't do the thing. What didn't do the thing? 5 emotes are going to get shared out to other folks in chat, and we're going to make a donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Thank you so much for the sub. Yeah, I have to... Yeah, installing the SDK is something that 3 months after it's been deployed should not be required. Right, where did the other one go? This SDK was released more than 3 months ago and is fully supported by Azure App Service and Visual Studio 2019. Yes. 3.1 is not 3 months old. It was released in... Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. 3.1... I'm thinking 3.0. 3.0 was September. Thank you. I'll hold off on that. But 3.1 was released, yeah, better part of 10 days ago? But 3.0 is available across. You're right. I'm confusing the versions. Alright, so let me go back to Blazor Web Form Components. Let me put down a global JSON for this. I'll switch over to the master branch. Not Git. .NET add global JSON. Not add. .NET new global JSON is what I'm thinking. Getting ready? What are you doing? Alright. There we go. That's what I want. Let's add that file. Commit it. Added global JSON for .NET SDK 3.1. And I want this to use global JSON, so I'm going to move this up to the top. Save this. Added the use task for global JSON. Alright. So I should be able to come back to here, and I will push this, which should trigger that. And we'll get the build running. It took 4 weeks to get the 3.0 runtimes to get to my local Azure. Yeah, that's a problem that we know about, and we don't want to continue like that. Well, look at that. Okay, so .NET Core App 3.1 is available, but the SDK, it doesn't have the 3 available. That's annoying. But 3.1 is installed in the East US. Nobody has all of everything installed. I don't want the East US, I want East US 2. It's not going to let me click on that, is it? There we go. Yeah, I'm in East US 2 is where all my stuff. And actually, that Well, right, that stopped at 2.2. So 3.0.3.1. Yeah. So. It took, yeah, it only took a week. There were some folks that made a little bit of noise about getting that deployed properly. A global JSON will lead me down security update pane, but it will keep me in shared source control happiness, because everybody will be using the same version of global JSON. Did I know that it's National Horse Day? Are you kidding? So, to wrap up my complaint, my issue here with the... Why isn't it running? It didn't run. I just pushed up into master. Why didn't it trigger? Because that's not checked. Rats. Yep, go do it. There we go. I'd like to see the log as it's happening. December 13 is National Horse Day, is it? Yeah, don't tell Janesco. My goodness. Alright. No rewards set up yet. I'll keep that pinned over here. There it was. One of the main holidays you celebrate each year. Oh, man. Look at that. That's just wrong. One of the main holidays I celebrate. Oh my gosh. Jean Valjean 80 is here. Welcome. Were you in Les Mis last night? That's a unique name. Thank you. Carrie!
Woohoo at Blazor, Mr. Magoo.
Thank you so much for that cheer. We'll make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And 10 other folks in chat just got emotes. Oh no. What happened here now? What do we got? Index on initialize. Virtual or abstract members cannot be... I'm not working on that project. How did you get down into here? That's not what I told you to build. Oh, it's on publish. That's why. Alright, so we need to edit. That's interesting. The publish... Let me go back to that. Right? Publish web projects. No. Path to projects. I want the same path that I had for the build. So let me grab that. Unlink this. Eventually I should probably link those back. Why don't I just do that? Let me go back. Link this. Yeah. Cool. Now it's there. Alright. So I'll go back to build and I'll relink this. Yeah. It's already there. So those are the same. Okay. Rerun that. Updated publish project targets. There we go. Go! Spreading emote love and hoping to get some pipeline love too. Yeah. Using 3.1.100 in the pipeline. Yeah, it worked. I just didn't have the publish set up properly, so it was trying to compile the ASP.NET Core app that I don't want it to actually build, right? It's there for us to test against. See, I'd like to see a little bit of status of what this is actually doing here now. If you're going to try and give me more information on this screen by changing the user interface here, show me what it's doing. Like, you went and changed the user interface, now you've opened yourself up to my critique. Show me what it's doing. Give me some idea. How far is it in the process? Step 1 of X. Give me a pie chart. Give me something that shows how far along we are. Don't just give me a timer. Tell me what's going on. Right? One artifact published. What's it doing right now? Click on Agent Job 1. Yeah, now I can see it. My point is, when I'm looking at this project building, show me. Show me the progress. Yeah. It's great. And we get the same look that we had before over here. That's nice. This is the view I would prefer. But just tell me if you're going to put a duration or something, show me. Don't just tell me just now. Tell me what's going on. So, Team City would show the current task at the job level. Right! Exactly. That's the kind of thing that I would hope to see there. All right, that's building. At some point, we need to turn this around so it connects over to a NuGet package. So it publishes the NuGet package. I'm not quite ready to publish the NuGet package yet, but I've got it building, and I want to grab the where is it? I'm gonna grab the little pill that goes with this, right? Is that under edit pipeline? That it'll give me the little pill thing? No. Where is it? Yeah, status badge. This one. Image URL for specific branch. Markdown link. That's the one I want. And isn't there a thing with the triggers so I can tell it? Yeah, path filters. I don't want to. I want this to only include the source folder, because I have include only the source folder when building, because I don't want it to build when we're updating documentation. Should we stable this for later? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Wait, let me explain something to you.
I've got a thing with horses, all right? And, yeah, Michael Jolly is playing right into this. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So good to see you. Michael Jolly, the bald-bearded builder, coding bandit, TBD gamer is here. Who else is here? Yeah, there they are. There's my horses. They're all live coders. We got to hang out yesterday and talk a little bit about what it means to build communities together. Copper Beardy, there we go. And got to have some time together on Discord, talking and learning together. It was a pretty good afternoon or evening for folks, depending on where you were. You've been saddled with a lot of work lately. You've been working on a custom Blazor component, but it feels like a yearling effort. Oh boy. Probably just need to take a break and go full some clothes. Dude! Wow! I've got a little bit. That's better, but it's not perfect. Alright. He's trying to stir up some trouble. Oh my goodness. And I see I've got a redemption sitting here. Let's do this. Let's have some fun with this. We need to get that redemption in play here. Job in PA with the redemption. We're going to switch to Thanos voice mod. Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. Mason Talks Code asks, what does it take to become a part of the live coders? Glad you asked. Let me answer that question real quick first, before I put on my gold glove with the 6 gems, and I destroy half of your code. So to be a live coder, real easy. There's a live coders GitHub repository out here at github.com/livecoders, and we specify on the home repository, members and prospective members are a Twitch affiliate or partner. They politely answer questions from viewers, promote positive, inclusive, and welcoming chat rooms. They're a person, not a brand or a company account. And they regularly write code or make hardware with technology. You don't have to just write code live on Twitch. That's it. Pretty simple. And there are 106 members right now. So, first requirement, shave your head. No, you don't have to shave your head. That's totally not a thing. Hang on, let's do this. That thing up there in the corner is gonna bug the crap out of me. You know what I mean? Grow a beard. Well, no. Go ahead, you tell that to Sushi Day or InstaFluff. Atomic J is here. Hello. So that's a little bit of the requirements for becoming a live coder. Fierce Kittens!
Fierce Kittens just resubscribed for 13 months. 13 months on Friday the 13th. I timed this well.
You timed it very well. So good to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in, my friend. 5 other folks in chat just got emotes, thanks to our friends at Coca-Cola and Twitch. But more importantly, I'm going to make a donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, just like I do for every sub, every cheer right here on the channel. Thanks so much. How's it going? Oh, it's going well now. Now that we've got a couple friends here, Atomic J and Fierce Kittens, they're live coders also, members of the team. Thank you so much for tuning in. But we had a redemption for me to change my voice to Thanos for 5 minutes.
Quill Tony just resubscribed for 11 months. Yay for St. Jude.
Yay indeed for St. Jude. Thank you so much. Yes, another donation to St. Jude. We're going to give you those 17 emotes that we have here, and you get to throw emotes at my face. That's always fun. Thank you so much, Quill Tony. It's great seeing you. Hello. But we're about to go into it. Become the Mad Titan for the next 5 minutes. That's not right. Hang on. Something happened to my microphone. Restart that. No, I'm still getting static. Well, it's real easy not to get static when it just works. There we go. How's that? There we are. Haha.
Alright. The Mad Titan taking over, writing your code. Hey there, ale friends. Welcome. I'm not purple enough. No, not Barry White. I'm gonna make half your code disappear. No, that's not a thing. 5 minutes on the clock.
Top Game just gifted 5 subs. Parkman just gifted 20 subs.
Stop the press. Hang on. Holy crow. Pac-Man Jr. 25 gift subs. Oh my good God. Thank you so much for that. Holy 25 gift subs into the chat room. That's 25 donations we're going to make to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Huge sub hype. Thank you very, very much for that. Oh my goodness. Let me run down the list. Wanted, Minerva Jenkins, Kapura Paka. I'm going to skip that name. Oren Novotny, The Maggio, J-Thing, Quantum Brat, 12BTW, Ed Charbonneau, Plain Reality, Netcodes, Odin Hassan, ThinkBot Labs, Dane C020, Talk to Me Gooseman, Mason Talks Code. Congratulations. You all just got subscriptions. I think there were a couple more up here also. Jean Valjean 80, Landmark 249, Hitfaced, Rob Kyog, Kiergo 36, Surly Dev, Lat Dior, and Frackberg. Congratulations. TBD Gamer also gifted 5 subs. Oh my goodness. Yes, we're going to make 20 from Pac-Man Jr., 5 from TBD Gamer. We're going to make a ton of donations to St. Jude Children's Research. Yes. My confusion there because they came so fast back to back. Congratulations to all our new subscribers. Thank you so much, Pac-Man Jr. and TBD Gamer, for that. That is so generous of you, and we are so happy to pay that forward to the kids, the folks that need a little bit of help here during the holidays. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, that was a good reason to interrupt that. I'm gonna get back into this, and yeah, tons of emotes just went into the channel. Right, it should tell me how many emotes were just shared. 100 emotes shared into the channel from 125 emotes gifted into the channel, thanks to our friends from Coca-Cola and Twitch, and Pac-Man Jr. and TBD Gamer with the gift subs. Thank you. All right, let me go back and reactivate the Mad Titan here, as it were.
All right, here we go. 5 minutes. There we go. The epicest. Yes. Here it is. So, we have our list view. Let's write some code for it. Down here, list view class. We've had some discussion around the empty item template and the empty data template. What are those two? How do we manage those? Empty item template and empty data template. Let's make sure we're implementing these correctly. They have a Kwanzaa emote. Really? Do they? No. Alright. You didn't need to highlight to get help, but that works. Yeah. Holidays. No, this isn't spoopy. It's the Mad Titan. Okay. Defines the content and a render for an empty item when a group template is used. Or not, though. Empty data if it returns no data. So this is the one that we should be implementing. No. Let me change back to my other branch. There it is. Alright. The Thanos thing, yes. I do need an indicator that shows what voice mod we're on. Gonna need to work on that. Okay, I am doing empty data template appropriately. Let's do this. Make that part of the feature. That's not a thing. So now when I use that, Motown Andy.
Let's share some emotes smile.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, a banner showing me active redemption and time remaining.
Oh my.
Coding and Comic Sans in Notepad with a Santa hat. Who would do that? Where would this happen? Yes, we're taking over. I should get... I'm not getting the summary appearing. I want to see this appear for the empty. Maybe the tooling isn't ready yet. Yes, you were gifted a sub. Comic Sans and Thanos. No. Okay. Oh, there it is. Alright. Now I've got it. There it is. Defines the content to render. Terrific. Alright. A lozenge. No. Alright. So we do have that correct. Now there's some other attributes that we want to automate, kind of put away. We know they're going to be used many times. So I want to start a base class that has some of these already defined for us, and we use that. My hoarse voice. Oh no. Oh. Yes, all the horse puns. We're seeking to balance the code universe.
All right, that was fun. No Fs. When you play a 78 at 33.5. Oh my gosh, Hugo, you're showing your age. What was this? Incentive. You're not even a follower. See that? See that? If you were just hanging out in the channel, yeah, you were gifted. I need a Blazor power glove. No. No. I've got a different type of glove. I actually have a Infinity Gauntlet cookie jar behind me on the shelf. And I think it's pretty cool. So some of these attributes I want to stub in here because we're going to ignore them in the Blazor implementation of these, and we want to mark them as obsolete. Like enable view state. Like, let's put together a base class for that just ignores it and throws an obsolete message. I think a bunch of these we can do something similar, like skin ID. Let's mark that obsolete, right? Because we don't want to support skin ID. And the theming, right? Enabled. Maybe we need to do something with enabled, but I think we can do something with a lot of this stuff. Any cookies in said jar? No. Oh, well, the cookies that I put in the jar are the ones that I was going to send to Europe. But the Europeans have a thing where I have to ask them if I can send cookies over there. So I just didn't send the cookies to Europe anyway and just put them in the jar. That's a GDPR joke, if you didn't get that.
What's that?
It was a GDPR joke, that privacy thing.
What's that?
No, it's a thing. Oh, never mind.
People know me.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have said that. All right, so let me take some of these. Let me take some of these. Did I see the comment at the top of the stream about the empty item and empty data? Yes. And it looks like we have those correct. What do you have here? Empty data. Yeah. User-defined content for the empty template that is rendered when a list view control is bound to a data source that does not contain any records. Yes. Svava! Thank you so much for that cheer. 3 other folks in chat just got some emotes, and we're going to make another donation to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Thank you so much, Svava. Appreciate the bits. What was GDPR, Jax? Jokes. Bring back the horse puns. Yes. Yeah, empty item and empty data. That's what we were just looking at. Fierce kittens with a new emote. What? Okay. That's
inconceivable.
Look at, there goes Fierce Kitten's face going flying by my, oh dear Lord. And here comes Gritty. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What are you doing to me? Mr. Demon Wolf is here. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, and the GDPR, right? You're not a subscriber. Subscribers get the emotes flying. Alright, so yeah, this is bound to a data source that doesn't contain any records. That's what we're already doing over here. When the record count, right? Come here. When items is null, output the empty. The empty item is when we have a group. So, alright. Yeah, so I'm okay on this, the way that this is performing. What I wanted to do was find some of these other attributes, and let's set up a base class that'll have a lot of these already built out to do obsolete indicators, to do some other things like that, so that we don't have to recode those every time. So I'm going to just add a new class here. Let's call this base. There was no horse there. No horse. And no JavaScript. I tell ya. Got the t-shirt. Everyone at home likes it. Platform for building anything. Nice. Glad you got the, got that. You see what did Fierce Kittens do? She didn't. Oh, with the, yes, the JavaScript. Well done. Well played. No worries. You never have to subscribe. There's just a couple of little benefits that we give folks that do subscribe. So I'm going to make this a public abstract class. That means you can't actually build, you can't create a base web forms component. And I'm going to have... Thank you for the follow, Code Monkey Boy. Appreciate you joining us. This one over here, TBD Gamer. Oh, that's so nice of you.
Tupt Gamer gifted Demon Wolf a subscription. Tupt Gamer gifted a tier 1 sub to Mr. Demon Wolf. They have given 42 gift subs in the channel.
That was very kind of you to do. Thank you so much. One second here.
I'm Scott. I'm new here.
With those 2 gift subs, including Code Monkey Boy, thank you so much. We're going to make 2 more donations to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I very much appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. And I thought... Yeah, we just invited... That's right, I thought so. Mr. Demon Wolf's one of our latest members of the Live Coders team. Welcome. Yeah, iOS app doesn't make gift subbing possible, and it makes, well, no, it is there, it's in the latest versions, but you have to buy coins first, and the coins cost more than a sub costs. It's like $5.99 for a sub coin, where it's only $4.99 when you buy, there's a whole thing there. But welcome in. Yeah, the sub train is hot right now. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mr. Demon Wolf, there we go. Like I said, one of the latest members of the Live Coders team. There's so many folks now, I'm starting to lose track of everybody, but I have a pretty good idea who was on it. Where was I? All right, so I have that base web forms component here. I should be able to put that on the partial here and have that build. Yeah, it's not gonna like that. Must not specify different based classes. Oh. Can we do this with a C#8 thing? Can we do this with... Nope, yeah, developers isn't a command here. That only happens when we get new followers. Consequently, we've had Steve say developers almost 9,000 times here on stream. Really, really cool stuff. So I'm not using that. Yeah. Can we cheat? Can we do something here? I think, am I on C#8 here? Razor Lang version, but I'm in .NET Standard 2. Can I do C#8? If I can do C#8, we could do... Thank you for the follow. Who's our new follower there? Unicorn Glorious TV. Welcome, Unicorn Glorious TV. You have quite the avatar there. Thank you so much for joining us. And look forward to seeing you in the chat room, Unicorn. If I scroll down here, I want to take a look. There's this advanced button here. Yep, can't select the version. Which... Not a fan of how they took this away. Right, I think that's... Right, I can do that, can't I? And turn this, instead of a public abstract class, turn this into an interface. You see where I'm going here? You see where I'm going? You know where I'm going. Of course you know where I'm going. I'm totally going there. I'm going to take... Where was it? Enable view state and mark this as obsolete. Watch this. Watch this. You ready? You ready for this? I know you're watching. Enable view state. Right? Get set. I'm going to put a parameter note on it, and I'm going to put obsolete. Now, why doesn't it like parameter? Right, parameter is already being used here. So I should get that. So now, right, enable view state. You can get and set it, but it's marked as obsolete. So I'm not doing anything with it yet. Let's change this. We'll name this Web Forms Component. This way I can also do some default implementations of things that I want to enforce on everything. Mary Jo Stabler is here. Hello, good morning, my friend. Another live coder dropping in to say hello. Going to lurk while you're getting some work done. Fantastic. You're not, still not liking the idea of implementation and interfaces. Let me put that up from TBD Gamer. Because I kind of agree. Implementations and interfaces doesn't feel right. It feels weird. I'm only using it here to kind of work around the fact that I want multiple inheritance. I want a separate, another base class that has some of these features, and that we're going to ignore some of these things. We might be able to get away with it because these are just properties, but I do want to put some default implementations here for things that I want to be available across all of these components, which could get a little strange when we start looking at some of the event handlers. We'll see about that. We'll see how that goes. Thank you for the host, Mary Jo. Appreciate you hosting the channel. Fly, little doggos, fly. There they go. All right. Okay, so I have that. So now if I go back over to my implementation over here. Thank you for the follow, Links99. Links99, appreciate you joining us. So now on here, I should be able to do, right? It's not appearing yet. Is it because I didn't compile? Do I really need to compile to get these all to appear? Let's put a message here. View state is not available in Blazor. Say that. So should be able to see enable view state appear here now. And even though it's not doing anything with it, no. Right, it doesn't... That should have totally been a thing. It should have completely lit up there. But I'm going to go down and start adding some more of these here. Right? I'm going to put the exact same message here. Just copy that around. And let's look at what other ones we can add on here. Enabled. Enabled feels like one we might want to actually implement. You know? So if enabled is false, it doesn't actually do anything. If it's an interface and it's a property, does it really have a default implementation? Right? How does that work? Right? C# 8 interface default implementation for properties. Right? Like, show me the blog. Show me the blog. Show me the blog. Don't see it. Default interface methods. I don't think they did it for properties. Yeah, I'm looking for the article from Mads, and I don't see it here. You have a default implementation. I'm looking for the sound effect to go with this. It's gassy? No, it's...
It's alive!
I'm gonna... At the puns here. Oh. Yeah, it's default implementations for members. So I don't think we can do that for the property. Okay. Alright. But we will be able to do it for the events. So enable view state here. Yeah, that's... Even though it's on the interface, it's not actually being implemented behind the scenes. So I need to implement it. That should have errored out, right? Should have? Should it have errored out there, chat room? Oh, I don't have it applied. Yeah. Right, so where'd it go? I don't even see it here. Right? I thought I control dot implement interface. Where'd it go? There it is. And it didn't carry over the attributes. I wonder. Right, so now let me build that. Speaking of puns, have I ever thought about steaks? A steak pun is a rare, medium, well done. That. Come on now. Whew. Nope, still doesn't see enable view state. Oh, because it doesn't have parameter in the... that's not going to do what I want it to do. Right, it's not going to carry across the attributes from the interface. There it is. It's not carrying over the attributes nor the documentation. Wasn't there a thing to put on interfaces that would allow it to do that? Oh no, it's on the attributes themselves. I don't want to do that. I don't want to rewrap the attribute. Right, that would be weird. But putting them over here feels I'm not getting any value out of it. Now, somebody had said something about trying to Yeah, it's not gonna do what I need it to do. I'm gonna end up copying and pasting these things into every class to get the to get it to work. Putting it on the interface. Putting it on the interface means I don't need to put it on the property since it's inheritable. Well, I'm implementing it, so I'm implementing it differently. So the parameter attribute wasn't applied to the list view, right? Here. Without that there, this doesn't get highlighted. Sushinator, hello. So what we're doing is we're working on making web forms controls into Blazor components. So we're taking some of the properties. We're working particularly on the list view, right? So we had the list view class that existed way back in the day with ASP.NET Core, and we're bringing over the features of the list view. So I'm going down the attribute list here, and I wanted to grab the ones that we could say, these are obsolete, don't do this anymore. And how can we apply that to the C# class? So, in Blazor Mr. Magoo, that's the way that you used to do this. Create a new class that inherits component base, and then all new components inherit from that class. That's the way you used to do Blazor components, but they changed it now, so it's a partial class. Because this generates a partial class. Can we still do implements? Is that still a thing? Or inherits, right? Inherits, can I do that? If I could do that, then I don't do a partial class, and it would work. You can still do that, I'm seeing from the chat room. Alright, so let's do that. Abstract, and I'll rename this to, what do you mean I can't rename it? I'm gonna rename you back to Base Web Forms Component. Rats. Base Web Forms Component, which also renamed my file there. You can default and inherits in my imports Razor. Ooh, I didn't know you could default that. So let me implement component base. Yes, and I'm going to turn this into an abstract class. Okay. So now why don't you like this? Should be public. Right. It was an interface before, so it doesn't have the thing on it. So now, can I do that with, let me go down here. So imports, since these are all controls here, can I say inherits base web forms component. So now, did that work? That looks like it works. That looks like it works. All right. Wow. That's pretty cool. I learned something new. Why doesn't it like that? Did I delete something I shouldn't have? No, we're okay here. Data source, that should be a parameter. Somehow I dropped that parameter. Might have dropped it while I was moving some things around. But these aren't popping up anymore. What about something like this? Suggests Hugo. Interface, abstract class. Well, I'm just going to implement the abstract class that has those properties. And I don't need the interface at that point. So. Do I need to rebuild? Maybe. Build succeeded. There it goes. Yeah, there we go. And I've specified context. There, that works. Okay. And this view state is not available in Blazor. I'd love it to come up with that. Oh, wait. You can actually put... You can put emojis in here, can't you? Can't you? Right? Nope. Where is it? I want to do like the traffic sign. Do like a warning. What are you doing? Okay. Okay. Right, so now when I mouse over this, there's also a way to put like actual icons in there. Let me rebuild. I want to see if I can get that to appear. Right, so I get the little alert that this is not available. Right, build succeeded when I mouse over. There we go. That's not bad. Yeah, when you're using partials, you're not going to be able to do that. Seem to remember the recommendation for the naming was to add base to the end of the class name. Is it the end or is it the beginning? I thought it was the beginning. I mean, I know they call this component base. I can go either way. All right, so I have, so now I can go down the list here and I think, let me get rid of this. Here. So enable view state, we're gonna turn that off. ID isn't really a thing. Let's put ID on here and have it put something that says use @ref instead. Right? And that's another parameter. Obsolete. Use @ref instead of ID. And I'll put the same thing here. Can I do? Yeah. Use @ref instead of ID. So that the ID pops up, it gets handled. Boom Boom says... Let's put that up. In before C# for it starts doing emoji code streams. All the emoji code streams. National Day of the Horse. Oh, no.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
Yes.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
She did. She totally figured it out and is completely trolling me. Ugh. Run at, I don't want to put anything on that. I could do the same thing there and say this is not available. Let's do that for run at, which is a string. Right? It's not available in Blazor. Right, so these will start to get... Ooh, actually, it's all lowercase. Right, isn't that the way it is in ASP.NET? Yeah, it's all lowercase. So we want to make sure we match the casing. The horses thing is a dangerous thing. It is. Totally dangerous. There we go. Run end is not available in Blazor. There we go. Make that lowercase. What else? So I got all of those highlighted. Data member we're not really going to use. Data source we are. Right, because data member isn't a thing in Blazor either. Or maybe it is if we... Do we have data sets? Is data set really a thing? I'm not sold on data member yet. We might need to do something with that. Frankus is here. Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, you know what? Let's take visible and enabled. Let's implement those. I feel like those are things that we could do real quick here. Blazors, blazors, blazors. Yeah, I think visible. Right. So. And this is a parameter. And the other one is enabled. And that's another bool. There it is. So if for enabled and visible, when we're looking at the list view, if it's not visible, do we just put style equals display none? Can we do that? Can we put a style tag on the output? Which means I would need to, here we go, I'm going to need to interrupt. I need to intercept and put a style tag somewhere to make visible, to make it disappear. Or do I wrap everything with with a div and say style equals display none? I can do that, can't I? I could totally do that. Right? I could put that here. That's not right. That's not what I want. There we go. Right, so I could say style equals at visible. Put a parentheses around this. So if it is visible, we're not going to output anything. If it isn't visible, we're going to output display none. Right? So that should take care of that. Enabled, I think we want to do over here. Oh no, wait. Enabled, I feel like is another thing here. So we say else if, and actually I think we want to make that happen first, right? At if not enabled, control is not enabled, something like that. And then this becomes else if, and we'll, because now it's enabled, we'll flip down into these other ones and output appropriately. So I think that handles the visibility feature, right? I mean, so if I take this and let's say visible, let's say visible equals false and see what happens. Yes, WebFace CA. Give me 1 second here and I'll show you that. Visible equals false. Let's see what happens with that. Ed Charbonneau is here. How's it going, Ed? Ed's another live coder. The question from WebFace is there a way to have any element that is not visible not be sent to the browser, like web forms? So there we go. Visible false, and it just doesn't show it's inside the thing. But if we set that back to true, let that reload. Or not. What'd I do? Somewhere in one of these ones. T-body. Div style equals. And it didn't output anything. Why? Item type. Right? It should have totally done this. Right? Refresh. Nope, nothing. The comment about can we have it any element that is not visible not be sent to the browser. That's what it's doing here, right? If inside of the list view, if there's no value set to this, it won't send anything to the browser, right? If that's empty string, it won't output anything. But it's not doing this here. Enabled is false? Nope, I don't have enabled equals false. Enabled defaults to false. Oh my gosh, I think you're right. EA Johnson, I think you're right on that defaulting. Refresh. No, we're gonna have to hard refresh, hard restart, hard something, hard, I don't know. Hardly doing this correct. Let's see. There we go. Now I've got two of them. Oh, you know what? It's because that div element is there. Visible is set to true, but that div element is there. So it's, right, it's got this div around the TR. So if we don't want this to show, because we only want this div to be available, and we can, right, so we can kind of force this to display none. Like this. But I only want to output that div if visible equals false. I think. But I'm wondering if it's not going to let me do that because it's not a complete control. Not a complete tag. Right? Blazor would get upset about that. If not visible. Yeah, see, look. No starting tag, and it doesn't like this one because it doesn't have anything inside of it. Just don't output the content. Okay. Right, so I'm already doing that with enabled. So I could say if not enabled or if not enabled or not visible. Right, so if it is enabled and it is visible, this will be false and it'll come down here. Right? Enabled, visible should default to true as well. Let's see how that looks. Cool, so that output properly, and if I change this, so I say visible false. Come on. There it is. Cool. So those work. All right. We can do that. We can do that. Next. I have too many of these open. Reload that. Just let it sit there. So we took care of visible. We took care of stubbing out run at. Okay, so these events, on load, on pre-render. Where's the other one? On init. Those three were important in a web forms world. And they were event handlers that you would wire things up to. You don't really have a way to wire up to this. I mean, I guess you do, but wouldn't not enabled be visible but read only? In edit mode, I think. But we don't have any edit controls on here. when we're in edit item template, it would affect that. Or the ability to click an edit button. Let me take that out. Control's not visible. Let's go back to the documentation and see what it says about enabled. Gets or sets the value indicating whether the control is enabled. Let's come back and look at no. What can we do here? We have the sample control over here that we could actually set enabled equals false. See what that says. See what that does, right? Debug, start new instance. Let's see what that does. Yeah, the enabled property is kind of, for this control, is kind of nebulous. Right? Because I don't... Sorted and sorting, not being able to do those. What was the other thing you're commenting? I don't think... There is no filtering on this one. But by turning on, saying enabled false, didn't make any difference. It's still rendered, even though it's visible. So some of those interactive components I would expect would be turned off. Right? So I'm going to leave enabled parked the way that it is right now. Without it actually affecting the output yet. But visible, I think, did the right thing there. Convert empty string to null. Let's see what that one is. Gets or sets a value indicating whether the empty string values are automatically converted to null values when the data field is updated in the data source. Okay, so that's an update interaction. We're not doing updates yet, so I'm going to hold off on that. Thank you for the follow. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but welcome. Appreciate you joining us. Helping us reach our next milestone of 9,100 followers. When we get there, we'll send out another sticker pack to a lucky member of our viewers. Data key names. Contains the names of the primary key fields for the items displayed in a ListView control. I don't think that's and same thing with data keys. I don't think they do anything now with how we represent objects and pass them back and forth from the database. Yeah, dreidels handed out to some of the folks with haha holidays emotes. There you go. So I think data key names, data keys container, is that on this? No. Those I think we can mark as obsolete because we don't use data keys to update anymore. So I'll add them as parameters and mark them as obsolete. And you know what? Let's do this. Obsolete properties. Attributes, properties. There we go. Like this. So now I'll add the data keys down here. Right, that's a string. Data keys. It's a parameter. Data keys are not used in Blazor. like this. All right. So I'm not sure about data member. Data source we have working. Data source ID we are not supporting. Because we're not going to put data source controls on our Blazor page. That's not a thing. Data sources are not used in Blazor. Data source controls. Right, because that's not a thing. We don't want folks to try and think they can use data source controls over here in Blazor. That's going to be a problem. Oh, hello. Somebody's trying to hack my Instagram account. That's so nice. That's wonderful when people try and hack me. Okay, so data source controls. Yes, really. I just got a message from Instagram. They're trying to hack me right now. Yeah. Where'd it go? We got a request to reset your Instagram password. Wasn't me. So, yeah. Somebody's trying to... And that's not two-factor authentication. Does Instagram have two-factor authentication? I don't think they do. Could be a phishing email too. No. From security at Instagram.com. Right, and if we look at the full headers there, that was important according to Google Magic. That's accurate. That's a legit. Right, mailed by mail Instagram.com. That's legit. So. It could just be someone did a password reset on a username that they thought was theirs. Could be. Could be. So. Okay, so we turned off data sources. We have that now. Edit index, that's going to be a thing. We did enable theming. I'm going to turn that off also. Make sure that that's not a thing. Right, because theming, I don't know many people that used theming. Right, yeah. And I'm going to put the same parameter. Really? Theming is not available in Blazor. Maybe we add that feature in the future and go back and support that, but for right now, no. Which means skin ID has to go as well. Is not available in Blazor. So let's put, right, skin ID was also down there. And it's the exact same message. You think by now you would have bulk edited every property in as obsolete and take them out as they are implemented. That's not a bad idea. That's not bad. But I'm kind of inspecting these as I go. We did enable view state. We need to do grouping at some point. And placeholder ID isn't going to be a thing. The item count. I'm not sure what... I need to go back and figure out what that is. Insert item position. That's kind of cool. We'll need to implement that. Let me... tell you what, I'm going to take insert item position. And just put a TBD with it. because I think that's going to be pretty cool. That feels, right, like something proper to add. Data bind, I think I want to pull up. Yeah. Right? So if I put in, right, and this has its own enumeration for insert item position. Let's see. There's an enumeration for that goes with this. Yeah, insert item position. Oh, thanks. Insert item position. And actually, we could, sure, generate that in a new file. Let's go into that and turn that into an enum. And the values that it had. First item, last item, none. And it doesn't tell me what these correspond to. None is 0. First item is 1. Just in case anybody's doing some work on this. Last item is 2. Now, I don't have the exact same namespace for these, but I think that's okay. Wonder who you could blame for the huge number of properties on these things. Actually, they're inherited from base classes. So, right, I mean, that's... So, I won't implement this yet, but I'm going to put a... insert item... Let's just say just to do implement. Right? Coming back over to this. Item placeholder ID. That's where the various templates would have come into play here. This, I think, we're going to need to mark item as obsolete as well. Alright, item placeholder ID. Yeah. String item placeholder ID. And this is because we don't have that, right? You can't do a placeholder with Blazor components. Placeholders are not available. Was I being... Okay. So many base classes. There were lots of these. And we'll separate out. Maybe we'll have multiple base classes here that we have things going around, because some are going to be data bound, like grid view, but there's other things that aren't, that we're going to have to handle as well. So here's the various events. I'm not going to touch the events yet, because these are going to be a whole different kettle of fish. I'm going to come back to the events. Selected index plugs into that also, but I'll implement the method, the property, the parameter, right? Selected index. Right, so we know that I need to generate and actually do something with that. Simon the Cookie! Thank you for the follow. So we already did skin ID. I dropped that in as obsolete. Style, we should just copy along. But where would we apply the style now? Then we did visible. I think for this one we want to mark style as obsolete because we don't have something for it to be applied to. So let me put a property for that. Style is not applied by this control. Yeah. Because I don't have an outer element that I'm applying to. So we're okay there. Right, we're not applying CSS to things because you're inside of another set of markup that we're applying it to. That was a thing. So I think this should build. And we've got some default implementations here for some of these properties. We still have to go back and do the event handlers here, and the various event handlers we're going to need to figure out exactly what we're going to do with some of these. Paging, we don't really have a paging. Well, we're going to have to implement paging methods, aren't we? Right? Events. Yeah, page properties. Yeah, there's the declarative syntax that we're trying to keep up with. No. Where is it? Apply style sheet skin. That's not going to do anything. Create items. Create suffix. On page properties. Page event. Set page properties. Disposed. Pageable item container. Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna need to figure out how to do paging in here and how to pass that along, how to make that work. But I'm pretty happy with where we are. We're about a half hour over, and I have a meeting coming up. So let me check in what we have now, and we'll call it a day. So I'm pretty happy. We have this building now. It's out there in Azure DevOps, and it'll build and work for us, right? Tell us that it's actually able to compile. I've got a bunch of new files that we added here, and we added a concept of a base component. And we're pushing all those things that we think are going to be common across other components into this base class. But I fully expect that we're going to end up taking this base class and turning it into multiple base classes. So there's an inheritance hierarchy. So let's commit these changes for this first control here. Introduced a base component and pushed a number of obsolete properties into it. So we have that. Let me also go back into, where'd it go? Not there, not here. I don't have it open anymore. Here. I had the, yeah, we saved it. I wanted to grab the status badge, put that in my markdown. Let me open up. Yep, readme. Let me start notepad readme.md. There we go. And just beneath the title here, I'll add the build status badge. Git commit that. Added build status badge. Yep, push those changes up, then that should build and it would be available for us if we were downloading, if we were deploying the NuGet package soon. Actually, it's not going to build because it's in a feature branch. So, that's okay. We've got it. Building and checking the various things now. I'm still pretty happy about that, right? There we go. So when I'm ready to push it to master, maybe I should have it also build on, right? Let's have it build the feature branches also when there's pull requests. Let's take a look real quick. Yeah. Run it on all. Right, and I enable continuous pull request validation. Yep, do that also. And do it on all branches. And we'll have it build on that feature branch. Enabled all branches. Building. Fantastic. Let's set up a raid. Thank you so much, Hugo. We're going to click through. Let's see who we can raid out here on Twitch. Who's streaming that we can support, we can send our love to. It is... I thought I saw... Let me see. I thought I saw... somebody we haven't raided in a while. We could raid... You know what? Let's, let's raid... Yeah. Let's raid Ed Charbonneau. He popped in here earlier. And, he's another live coder. There we go. I wish it would. There we go. Start that raid. Ed's working on some more Blazor stuff. He's always doing some really cool stuff with the latest framework over there. I hope you stick around. I hope you join us over on Ed's channel in just a few minutes. This video, like all my other videos, will be available over on YouTube. I'm going to set up and fire a whole bunch of them over there over the weekend and into next week. I'm way behind on that, I know, and we're going to make that happen for you. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me, and I will see you over there on Ed's channel. All right? Take care.